So here's what we are going to be looking at this evening on the urban debate. A day later, but still very, very relevant. I'm talking about Prime Minister Modi's speech from the Ram Leela Maidan in the national capital. The Prime Minister, in clear terms, said that the centre has not made any plans for the National Citizens Registry so far. And I quote the Prime Minister right now. No rules framed for all India NRC. In Assam, it was mandated by the Supreme Court. But protesters in opposition are taking Prime Minister Modi's comments with a pinch of salt, as in over seven different instances, Home Minister Amit Shah himself has spoken about a nationwide NRC. He's also said that the Citizenship Amendment Act is the first step towards a nationwide citizenship registry. Take a look.
आसाम के अंदर एनआरसी की प्रक्रिया हाथ में ली गई, एक सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऑर्डर के तहत और एक अलग एक्ट के तहत ली गई है। एनआरसी की प्रक्रिया देश भर में होगी। उस वक्त आसाम के अंदर भी ये एनआरसी की प्रक्रिया स्वाभाविक रूप से फिर से की जाएगी। और इसमें मैंने फिर से स्पष्ट कर देता हूं कि किसी भी धर्म के लोगों को कोई डरने की जरूरत नहीं है।
राहुल बाबा कहते हैं एनआरसी क्यों ला रहे हो, घुसपैठिए को क्यों निकाल रहे हो, कहां जाएंगे, क्या खाएंगे, क्या पिएंगे, क्यों भाई आपके चचेरे भाई लगते हैं क्या? ये राहुल बाबा को जो बोलना है बोलने दो, मैं बताने आया हूं। मित्रों, 2024 के पहले इस देश में से एक घुसपैठिए को चुन चुन कर निकालने का काम ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार करने वाली।
पहले ये तो देख लीजिए कि एनआरसी के ऊपर कुछ हुआ भी है क्या? झूठ चलाए जा रहे हो। मेरी सरकार आने के बाद 2014 से आज तक मैं 130 करोड़ देशवासियों को कहना चाहता हूं, कहीं पर भी एनआरसी शब्द पर कोई चर्चा नहीं हुई है, कोई बात नहीं हुई है।
And we must remember Prime Minister Modi is a very astute politician, and he's obviously used this political speech to send across a message. Now, is the message that they're going to apply the brakes on the NRC completely, or the fact that they haven't started it off yet? Because we just had a BJP representative, national spokesperson on our previous debate sit back here and tell us that there is no difference in what Amit Shah has been saying and what Prime Minister Modi is saying. Of course, NRC is in their manifesto, and of course, NRC is on their agenda. It's just that they haven't brought any legal work, legislative work in the parliament on it. It's just that they haven't started any legislative work on it. They haven't started any conversations. In all of this, will it be enough to quell the protests, to reach out to people? Well, the BJP isn't stopping with just the Prime Minister's comment. They have actually initiated an outreach program where they're actually putting across their view, their version of this. So this is what the BJP's outreach plan looks like. The centre will organize rallies to explain CAA and NRC. Over 200 news briefings will also be conducted across India. Centre has also decided that they will publish ads in newspapers, especially in the regional media, to get the message across about what exactly is the Citizenship Amendment Act. They will reach out to about 3 crore families through their party workers on ground. And BJP has also decided that they will have a specific plan for their outreach towards the students. Remember, students have been the center to what we have seen in this country in the last 10 days. It actually started from universities across the country. The outreach is intended to clear the misconceptions on CAA and NRC. Will Prime Minister's comment yesterday be enough along with this? Or does the government just have to come out and say it in clear, no uncertain terms that all right, there may be a rethink on nationwide NRC? Neha Joshi, spokesperson of the BJP, Clyde Crasto, spokesperson for NCP, joining us this evening. I've also got Saeed Afzal Abbas, leader of the JDU. Professor Monajit Wandal, political analyst with the TMC backer, joins us this evening. PJ Barua, executive editor of the Tribune, with us this evening. And with me in the studio is Vinay Tiwari, managing editor. And Vinay, let me start with you first. I mean, it's a little confusing, though BJP seems to be perhaps playing on technicalities. Yes, from their manifesto to the Home Minister saying it in Parliament, they have made it very, very clear that nationwide NRC is their plan. But does the Prime Minister's message seem that, okay, maybe not right now, first let's deal with what we have?
Yes, and I think, look, the Prime Minister is a smart politician. And I think two things have happened with the BJP which weren't exactly according to the script that they had thought of. Number one, they will not admit it, but I can guarantee you that the BJP has been a little surprised by the extent of the protests that have happened in the last few days or so. I don't think they expected the protests to be so widespread and so uniform in many states. Remember, the Muslim community in India don't really have one leader. So in many places, in fact, the protest has been leaderless. It's been led by students in many places. It has had people from the urban class. It has people from in smaller towns. Of course, there has been, unfortunately, violence as well. But the protest has been very widespread, and I think they were taken a little by surprise at the extent of it and the continuing nature of it. That is part A. Part B. Personally, I see what the Prime Minister said yesterday as a tactical retreat. It's not a definitive retreat because in the same speech, while he was stating a specific fact where he said that the government hasn't decided anything, they haven't laid out any modalities, they haven't listed out the rules, all that is factually correct. There is no doubt about that. There is no formal move as yet in terms of having moved on the paperwork or the file work on NRC nationally. But the fact remains that more than one person, in fact, Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan just today, in fact, reiterated this, that there will be a nationwide NRC. The trouble is that I think the Prime Minister is doing two things. One, tactical retreat in terms of distancing himself and the government from this hardline defense that was being seen over the last 6-7 days. Plus, he's also buying time to ensure that some amount of tempers calm down. Because clearly, a continuing protest of this nature that we've seen is not going to be good. Especially because even in terms of the foreign policy initiative, if you remember yesterday's speech spent some amount of time even reaching out to the Muslim countries that the Prime Minister has gone to.
Yeah.
He spent some time talking about Bangladesh, who's really upset over some of the comments that have been made in the last few days.
Yeah.
And he mentioned a lot of the Gulf countries as well by name. And the relationship India shared. So there is a little bit of a worry that the government now has over the messaging that it is sending out with the protest not showing any signs of declining.
But then on one hand he says that, and then he again brings in the BJP's regular narrative and phrasing and terminologies and packs together everybody in that one bucket where he says Congress and the Tukre gang and the urban Naxals, and they're all responsible, and it's good to see at least the urban Naxals are carrying the national flag, the tricolor. Is there still some mixed messaging here? There
is a mixed messaging, but I can also tell you the last point that you mentioned is a little bit of a departure from what we've seen in the past. And that is not something the BJP is perhaps prepared for. I don't think they will find the answer. I'm sure it's a smart party, but I don't think they had the answer right now, which is this. This is the first time that you'll see a protest, large number of Muslims participating, where there was a nationalist tinge to it. Yeah. There were a great amount of Indian flags. There was a lot of talk of nationalism. There was a lot of talk of pro-India slogans. That's a change in the narrative even in that community. This is not the kind of protest we've seen earlier. We've actually heard Sadruddin Owaisi make these appeals. And that was the first speech that he made actually. He said that, make this a point, that you carry the national flag and the tricolor everywhere so you get this point across to the BJP. 2 days ago, he collected 50,000 people and got them to read the preamble to the Constitution. Correct. He made them take that oath. That's a shift in the strategy from the minority community as well. And I think that has slightly changed the way in which the BJP is reacting to it. Okay, Clyde has very patiently for the last 5 minutes now, I think, held up his hand. So Clyde Craster, go ahead, please, make your point.
A couple of things, Tanvi, that I'd like to tell you here is that I was listening very carefully to what Vinay Tiwari was saying, and he made one very valid point. Somewhere during his speech, it appeared that, I'm not going verbatim as to what he said, but what Vinay Tiwari was saying, that the Prime Minister was sort of distancing himself from this issue because that heated up a lot. The point here I'm trying to make here is, there's a lot of confusion that is happening among the BJP leaders, because the Honorable Prime Minister saying one thing in his speech yesterday, then Mr. Amit Shah was saying something, then today Shivraj Singh Chauhan goes on to say something else. All this is only creating confusion more and more in the minds of the people who are actually worried and scared about what is going to happen. And if this is how it's going to be, see, the BJP has been trying to test the waters waters. And if the waters turn troubled, then they kind of retract back and, and they say, okay, we're going to try and work out something else. We're going to try and work out a new strategy. Also from what you said, and I heard you also out when you said that now the BJP is going to go out and actually go and explain this whole NRC, the CAA issue to the people. They're going to have advertisements. They're going to go on, national media. Why did they not do it right in the first place? They should have done this before going it and taking it into the floor of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. They should have gone out and explained this to the people. If they say there's nothing to worry about, if they say there's no fear, then they should have made sure that this fear is not put into the minds of the people. Now that's deep-rooted into the minds of people. So much violence has happened. We have seen violence in different forms that have come through. People have come out on the streets. The students have come out on the streets. People have come down out on the streets in one uniform voice, in one unified, like a nation came together down. And after all that has happened, and it's still continuing, you go out and say that, no, this is not what we are trying to say. This is not what we are going to implement. We are going to review it. We are going to look into it after the bill has been passed. This is not the way you govern a country.
Okay,
if you are going to govern a country, you got to take the people of the country into confidence. These are the people, a majority voted for you.
But does the Prime Minister's comment now work for you?
So you need to take the people in confidence that
does it bring about any assurance that yes, they will take the rest of the country along?
There's so much of confusion because so again now the
okay.
No, see, if he had done this and said this before passing the bill, maybe there was an assurance, because let me tell you very clearly, he may be the leader of the BJP, but he is my Prime Minister also. He's the Prime Minister of my country. So if he had taken me into confidence before the bill was passed, I would have probably believed him. But today I don't know whether I should believe him or not, because there's no proof in front of me.
Okay, let's get Neha Joshi to respond to what the NCP is also saying, and of course the initial comments that Vinay Tiwari made here. Neha.
Thank you for having me here today. So first of all, the comment made by the gentleman who spoke first, I'm so sorry, I missed his name.
Clyde Crasto,
but he said that
with the
we
NCP.
did not anticipate the level of protest that we've... No, not Clyde. I think Mr. Tiwari,
yes.
if I'm not wrong. Mr. Tiwari made certain comments about the BJP not anticipating the scale of protests and the continuity of the protests. Well, what we didn't anticipate certainly was the industrial level of rumor mongering and the kind of myths that we've seen taking the rounds in the past few weeks. Leaders of national parties have failed to read a simple document and understand the nuances of it. They've gone about social media, they've gone about giving speeches to incite emotions, to spread deliberate misinformation. There has been a campaign, and I refuse to believe that this is a spontaneous campaign. Various videos, various evidences that have cropped up in the past few weeks have shown that this indeed, the protests have been politically motivated. Peaceful protests are the right of every Indian citizen, and the government is not opposed to it. But what we've seen, the kind of violence that we've seen in the national capital, and putting students at the front of it, we refuse to believe as a party and as a government that this is not politically motivated. There's a larger design to it. And yes, this is something that maybe we did not anticipate, because we went through the correct route. The bill was duly passed in Parliament. Mr. Castro here made a point about, why not do this outreach before?
Yes.
There's a constitutional process. The bill was introduced in Parliament. There was a debate. The bill was duly passed by both the Houses of Parliament. Many of the parties that, Mr. Castro allies with, his party allies with, did also support the bill. Maybe he should ask his allies why they supported this. And so I think, there has been the government has been absolutely transparent about everything that they want to do. The constitution has been followed to the T. The questions that have been raised, there should be debate, there should be discussion, there should be outreach. But violence is never an answer to anything. And I would appeal through your channel to all of the people who are inciting emotions, trying to create this narrative that, the Muslims in the country have anything to fear. They do not. And that's what the government has been reiterating time and again.
Okay, but I think, Neha, and I'll let Clyde Crasto respond to you in just a bit. But first up, I think it's a bit unfair that when the things are not going as per your party's views, you can immediately turn around and say people are being misled, people are following to rumors and false news and fake news and all of that. And in any other position, you would have said this is the voice of the people who are raising their voice
but
and
these are
standing
not
up to a
basis.
policy
Tanvi,
that they're not okay with.
Please, let me
these are the
respond to
people
what you're
who
saying.
voted you to
Let me
power.
respond to what
It is
you're
very
saying.
condescending
When
of any
rumors are
political
being
party to
floated
turn
by
around and
popular
say,
media houses.
please listen to me. Let me finish my point. This is not one of those debates where we yell at each other.
No.
Now let me finish my point. It's very condescending for any political party to stand and take and say that people don't understand what they are protesting against, that they have been misled, that they have fallen for fake news and rumors. There have been thousands of people, educated and uneducated,
Tanvi, have you seen the kind
students
of videos
and
that have emerged
activists.
from
1
these
minute,
protests?
please. Let me finish my
Have
point.
you seen the
Have you
ignorance
seen
level of some of the people
20,000
who've been part
people
of
who
these
came out on the
protests?
streets of
They've been
Mumbai
brought to the
and
protest
peacefully
site,
protested
them
in
that they're
Mumbai,
protesting
in
against
Hyderabad,
price hikes,
in
that they're
Chennai?
protesting
Neha
against
Joshi, I'm
inflation?
sorry, I don't know if you know the
That's
rules of the
kind
debate on
that's
urban
the kind
debate.
of narrative that's been created.
If you don't know the rules of debate on Mirror Now and urban debate, I'm going to make it clear to you one more time. There is no yelling here. There is no talking on each other, over each other. Let me finish my point. I'm not talking about the violence.
I'm
Of
not
course,
yelling, I'm
violence
just
is not
correcting you.
acceptable.
And
Nobody's talking about violence here. Of course, violence is unacceptable. And if violence was basis
I'm
fake
talking about
news
the
and
ignorance
rumors, please
of
go
some of
ahead.
these
In all of the
protesters.
states where violence has happened, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka and Delhi, even if you want to count in Gujarat, where there was a bit of unrest, all of these states, you run the police. You have the freedom to investigate, catch hold of whichever political parties or political workers were spreading the fake news and inciting violence and put them behind bars. Now, don't take it away from the national protest that's happening everywhere else. From the students to the activists to the common man to the civil society members who've come out on the streets. Now, are you telling me that the thousands of people in Bengaluru, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Chennai, Pune, Bhubaneswar, Kolkata, Delhi, all of them are politically motivated or misled and people who don't understand the law and what you've done? Are you genuinely taking away from the intelligence of all of these people?
My counter to you, Tanvi, my counter question to you is that do you know that similar number of marches and protests showing solidarity with the act have also been organized in these very cities you
By
named?
BJP, yes, of course.
No,
It's
look at
running on the
IIT
channel right
Madras,
now.
IIT Chennai students today distanced themselves from the anti-CAA protest that was done on campus, and they said the views of 50 students cannot define the views of the institution.
Doesn't mean that
So
the
you
views
see,
of those
there
50
is, of
students
course, you know, there
doesn't
is,
matter
there is this,
or is
sort of
misled.
attraction by the media to inflate the rebels, to
Okay, now you've changed the goalpost. I'm going to go across. Now you've changed the goalpost.
Always welcome.
The simple point was that don't take it away, even if there
can I
are 50
answer, Tanvi?
people. It's their view. It can be an informed view. Don't make it sound like they're dumb people who've not understood what they're standing up for.
Since
Vinay.
Neha put a direct
And
question.
that is why we are doing an outreach campaign, because the opposition is deliberately trying to dumb down a population.
Since Neha put a direct question, here's a direct answer.
No.
You cannot. The logic.
Vinay Tiwari first and then Clyde,
the
I'll come
logic
to you.
is flawed if we believe that 50 students, and rightly, I completely agree with her. 50 students did come out and support the CAA. How can people who only support you have read the law and are logical, and the ones who are opposing it be misled and being fueled by rumors?
Exactly.
That logic just cancels itself out. Just the way people who came out in support believed in it and have read it also include those who came out and opposed it. In a democracy, you will have both sides. Of course, there are people who've read it and understood it and don't find the problems and have supported it. So have those who've come out and read it and found a problem with it. I don't think it's a logic which actually works at all, because the same logic she's giving for those who came out in support holds true for the ones who are opposing it.
Correct. Okay, Clyde, go ahead, please.
Yeah, Tanvi, I just like to say a couple of things what the BJP spokesperson said. First and foremost, I'd like to very clearly say this on air, is that we do not support violence. Our party president, Mr. Sharad Pawar, also, and he showed a bite a few minutes ago. He said that if you don't like something, you can oppose it in a very Gandhian way to do it. That's how we believe it. Secondly, she says that, like you explained, was There are thousands of people who are coming out on the streets by saying that, you know, they have been kind of misled by something, or there's some sort of agenda behind it. You are insulting the intelligence of these youngsters. And there are so many students who've come out on the streets. These are the youngsters who are the future of this country, and they know what they're doing. So don't insult their thinking and their thought process. Let them do what they're doing. If they don't like something, like Vinay Tiwari said, there are sets of people in a democracy, you can say that. And then she said there are people who have not read it. We have read it. We have read what you're trying to do, and we've said that. We have spoken about Article 14. It's ultra virus to the Article 14. The question that I've repeatedly said on your debates before this is that if we have sets of laws for infiltrators, we have set of laws for political asylum seekers, we have set of laws for people who come across to our country, we should go by those laws. But if you bring in a religious clause to this whole thing, questions will be raised, and the people are raising those questions.
Okay.
And then when you leave one community out of it, people are going to raise questions. And the last point very quickly I want to say is that what the BJP spokesperson was said that, why not discuss it after? My point is, why not discuss it before?
Okay, why not discuss it before?
When you go to seek votes, you tell people what you're going to do. You don't go after being selected.
Okay, so for that point, Neha already responded by saying that they followed the procedure. They went through the parliament. They discussed it in parliament. All of the political parties representing these people were present. Now, let me go across to two of our panelists who have not spoken
discuss
yet.
it with the people also.
Let me go across to two of our panelists who haven't spoken so far, and I actually want to go across to Mr. PJ Barua right now, because essentially the whole protest and expression of unhappiness with the government's moves started from the northeast. Mr. Barua, has the Prime Minister's speech yesterday helped the situation at all?
Well, the Prime Minister's speech yesterday was very defensive, and I could say that he tried to defend the Citizen Amendment Act. But we have to point it out here that while trying to defend the act, he did not represent the situation in Assam in the right perspective. This NRC process and this CA, the Citizenship Act's implications in Assam. He just said that the NRC was implemented in Assam beyond the mandate on the direction of the Supreme Court. He didn't mention about the Assam Accord, which had mandated, though agreed upon the 1971 as the cutoff year for Assam. So he didn't mention that, and that the implication of this act on Assam will be more additional foreigners, and mostly Bangladeshi Hindus. So this was not articulated properly or conveyed. He said that there are no detention centers in the country.
Yes.
But there are already 6 detention centers in Assam, where all these foreigners are being detained here. So he should first, actually with his speech yesterday, he himself admitted that it is the fallout of vote bank politics in the country.
Yes.
He accused the Congress of indulging in vote bank politics, but the BJP today is indulging in the same game of vote bank politics by trying to bring in Hindu Bangladeshis from Bangladesh. He's trying to use them as vote bank in the country. Again, he's trying to drop out the Muslims. So again, he's playing a very communal agenda. So this is unacceptable. People in Assam has been shouting against this act and these laws since last year.
Yes.
But the whole country has woke up only today. Assam's little voice is not heard in the rest of the country. But you are now feeling the pinch of the shoe. So you are now coming out. And there are certain political parties who are seeing in this scheme of things an opportunity to cash in.
Yes.
So all these implications are, but we are very disappointed that the Prime Minister didn't held out any hope or any solution to the problem we are facing here. We are facing in Assam and the North is a very unique problem. We have across the border about 2 crore Bangladeshi Hindus across the border, and this act will facilitate them to come over, and they will be a threat to our identity, our culture, our language. We have been shouting at the top of our voices for our protection. They've assured us safeguards, but where are they? So this is the major problem, and yesterday's Prime Minister's speech did not hold out any hope of doing that.
Okay.
In fact, he has undermined the position of his Home Minister, Amit Shah, as you have shown in the clips, with Amit Shah asserting that he will be implementing the Citizenship Act, the NRC, all over the country, and the Prime Minister is yesterday saying that nothing of that sort will be done in the near future.
Well, essentially, Mr. Barua, what he's saying is that we haven't started it yet. Or at a government level, let us put aside what the party plans to do. At a government level, we haven't started the process yet, is what the Prime Minister says. The Home Minister has repeatedly said that by 2024 we would have done it.
It's on the agenda. His home.
It is on the agenda. Yes, that cannot be denied.
Yeah,
that cannot be denied.
Agenda,
and I will also admit to you that
the Home Minister has himself asserted that they will be going to it.
That the issue that started off primarily as an issue within the Northeast
we are very scared of foreigners coming.
Yes. Yes, well, you know, that's also a point that I want to highlight, because often the rest of the country forgets. Now, while the rest of the country is actually protesting against a nationwide NRC or even the CAA on the grounds of exclusion of the Muslims, we must not forget that the Northeast is actually protesting for very, very different reasons. They're saying that nobody should be allowed, all of these illegal immigrants, no matter which country and what religion, should be kept out, because that impacts our demographics, our culture, our language. It's very different actually from what the conversation and the spotlight actually is on right now, which is also what the Prime Minister was focusing more on. But if I can first go across to Syed Afzal Abbas, leader of the JDU. Mr. Abbas, what Prime Minister said yesterday, has that brought about any assurance for your party? क्या आपकी पार्टी अब उनकी बात से सहमत है कि जो होगा वो सब allies से बात करके, सब political parties पूरे देश को साथ में लेके चल के होगा?
देखिए, दो सवाल यहाँ पे, एक है कैब सीए की बात आप करें, फिर एनआरसी की बात करें। जहाँ तक मुझे वाकफियत है, मुझे मालूम है कि एनआरसी के लिए हमारा पहले से, बहुत पहले, मैं समझता हूँ 6-7 महीने पहले से स्टैंड क्लियर था कि हम एनआरसी बिहार में लागू होने नहीं देंगे। उसके बहुत सारे वजूहात है। जहाँ सीए की बात करें, प्रधानमंत्री ने वादा किया कि इससे मुसलमानों को घबराने की जरूरत है। मुझे भी लगता है कि बहुत ज़्यादा कोई परेशानी नहीं होने वाली इंडियन मुसलमानों को। लेकिन जहाँ एनआरसी की जो बात है, एनआरसी एक बहुत बड़ा, एनआरसी का ये जो देश स्तर पे जो विद्रोह जो शुरू हुआ, जो आंदोलन शुरू हुआ, लोगों में तशवीश के शंका पैदा, उसकी वजह मैं बता रहा हूँ आपको कि जैसे ही एक तरफ प्रधानमंत्री जी यहाँ कल रामलीला ग्राउंड में उन्होंने कहा कि एनआरसी कोई ड्राफ्ट तैयार नहीं है, ना कैबिनेट में कोई मीटिंग हुई है, ना पार्लियामेंट में कहा गया। जैसे ही कैब का बिल लाया गया और उससे वोटिंग के बाद फौरन ही पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष बीजेपी के और गृह मंत्री माननीय अमित शाह जी का बयान है देश स्तर पे होगा। तो लोगों में खास करके बिलखसूस मुसलमानों में ये तशवीश पैदा हुई कि जैसे हिंदू मुसलमानों को छांटा गया है, तो इससे ऐसा इसका इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा एनआरसी पे। तो सीए पीछे हो गया और एनआरसी सामने आ गया और देश स्तर पे ये मूवमेंट खड़ा हो गया कि अमित शाह ने कहा कि हर हालत में लागू करेंगे। तो ये एक कन्फ्यूजन इतना ज्यादा स्प्रेड हुआ, और ये स्प्रेड किया जबकि उन्होंने खुद ही कहा था। हालांकि प्रधानमंत्री ने तरदीद किया कि ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है, लेकिन एक देश के गृह मंत्री, पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष का बयान आ रहा है, तो जाहिर सी बात लोग उसकी बात को मानेंगे, समझेंगे। यहीं से कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट हुआ और ये कहीं ना कहीं शक और डर, खौफ खास करके मुस्लिम माइनॉरिटी, गरीबों में ये पैदा हुआ। मैं आप एक वाकया बता दूं, कल ही मेरे एक दोस्त कुवैत में रहते हैं, वो आए और हमसे पूछने लगे कि हमको जो मैं पापा के नाम में चेंज हो गया, उसको चेंज करना कब, पता नहीं कब एनआरसी का है। पढ़ा लिखा इंसान कुवैत में रहते हैं। इसका मतलब ये है कि एक तरह दहशत फैल गया सिर्फ एक सेंटेंस से अमित शाह जी के कि पूरे देश विदेश स्तर पे एनआरसी किया जाएगा, जबकि बिहार गवर्नमेंट पहले ही कह चुकी है, मुख्यमंत्री जी बहुत पहले कह चुके थे कि हम किसी भी हालत में बिहार में एनआरसी लागू नहीं होने देंगे। और केंद्र सरकार चाहे कि अकेले कर ले, ये संभव ही नहीं है। मिशनरी कहां से लाएंगे? स्टेट गवर्नमेंट चाहिए, अखराजात बढ़ जाएंगे, बहुत ज्यादा पैसे खर्च हो गए देश की आर्थिक स्थिति ऐसी खराब है। मैं समझता हूं कि ये फजूल बातें, इस पे तवज्जो देने की जरूरत नहीं है, न होना चाहिए।
तो जवाब दीजिए नेहा जोशी, रिस्पॉन्ड टू व्हाट सैयद अफजल अब्बास इज सेइंग दैट द पॉइंट एंड द क्वेश्चन ऑफ ए प्लान ऑफ ए नेशनल एनआरसी हैज पुट अबाउट सम फियर। लोगों के मन में एक खौफ सा हो गया है अमित शाह के ये कमेंट्स सुन के। इसका जवाब दीजिए, ये क्यों हो रहा है कि आपके खुद के एलाई कह रहे हैं कि नहीं एनआरसी नहीं आएगा बिहार में?
तानवी जी, मैं एक सेकंड जस्ट मिनट।
हाँ बस जी।
तानवी जी, मैं एक पार्टी का एक छोटा सा अदना सा कार्यकर्ता होने के साथ मैं एक इस्लाम धर्म से बिलोंग करता हूँ। जाहिर सी बात है, मेरे पास हजारों फोन आए, हजारों की मैं बात कर रहा हूं, सबको मैंने कंसोल किया, घबराने कोई बात नहीं है। तो ये मैसेज बैठे बैठे दिल्ली में हमको सुदूर गांव से आ रहा है, इसका मतलब कहीं ना कहीं दहशत वहशत तो फैला है। हजारों की मैं बात कर रहा हूं कि ये हजारों फोन मेरे पास आए कि ये क्या हो रहा है, आपकी क्या हो रहा है, मुख्यमंत्री क्यों नहीं बोले, नीतीश कुमार जी क्यों नहीं बोले। मैंने उसी वक्त कहा कि नीतीश कुमार जी पहले ही बोल चुके हैं कि बिहार में एनआरसी लागू नहीं होगा। सीए से बहुत ज्यादा मुसलमान घबराए नहीं है, लेकिन इसका इंपैक्ट कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि बंगाल में, आसाम में, आसाम में हिंदुओं को तो मिल जाए वो सिटीजनशिप, अब मुसलमानों को नहीं मिले, इसी आधार पे
नहीं। तो सुन लेते हैं बीजेपी का क्या रिस्पॉन्स है, क्योंकि जो बीजेपी की प्रवक्ता है वो अभी थोड़ी देर पहले यही कह रही थी कि ऑपोजिशन पार्टीज ने जो है एनआरसी के बारे में सब गलत खबर फैलाई है। यहाँ तो एलआई ही आपके कन्विंस नहीं है नेहा जोशी जी।
मैं सैयद अब्बास साहब की बहुत रिस्पेक्ट करती हूँ। उन्होंने बहुत ही मुझे लगा नुआंस तरीके से अपने जो मुद्दा है वो रखा, और मैं पॉइंट बाय पॉइंट में उनको रिप्लाई करना चाहती हूँ।
जी बोलिए नेहा
जी, फरमाइए।
जी हाँ, तो मैं उनको पॉइंट बाय पॉइंट रिप्लाई करना चाहती हूँ। उन्होंने जो बात कही कि एक डर फैला हुआ है, और उन्होंने सबसे पहले जो लाइन कही वो कही कि कैब से मुसलमानों को कोई, या सीएए से मुसलमानों को कोई खासी दिक्कत नहीं है, लेकिन होम मिनिस्टर साहब की एक लाइन से एक खौफ फैला है। मैं इसमें ऐड करना चाहूंगी तन्वी कि ये खौफ कोई स्वाभाविक तरीके से नहीं फैला है। जब देश के बड़े बड़े नेता सोशल मीडिया पे और मीडिया पे टिप्पणियां देंगे, जब कुछ बहुत ही रिस्पेक्टेड जर्नलिस्ट ये भ्रांतियां फैलाएंगे। अभी 2 दिन पहले टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया की एक खबर थी जिसमें कहा गया था कि मुसलमानों या लोगों से बैंक अकाउंट खोलने में धर्म पूछा जा रहा है। इस तरह की भ्रांतियां नेशनल मीडिया द्वारा फैलाई जा रही हैं, जिससे खौफ फैल रहा है। किसी ने ये पलट के नहीं पूछा, किसी रिस्पॉन्सिबल जर्नलिस्ट ने वो ट्वीट करने से पहले या उसको शेयर करने से पहले ये नहीं देखा कि 2018 का वो अमेंडमेंट है। मेरे हस्बैंड मर्चेंट नेवी में काम करते हैं, एनआरओ अकाउंट होल्ड करते हैं, उनको भी अपना धर्म डिक्लेयर करना पड़ता है क्योंकि 2018 की ये अमेंडमेंट है आरबीआई की, ये आज नहीं आया है। तो जिस तरीके की र्यूमर मॉन्गरिंग, जिस तरीके की फेयर मॉन्गरिंग हमने देखी है, उससे जरूर मैं उनकी बात से सहमति जताती हूं कि इसकी वजह से ही एक ये भय का माहौल जो क्रिएट हुआ है, और ये क्रिएट करना जा रहा है। आप देखिए, आज तक ऑपोजिशन को कोई मुद्दा नहीं मिल रहा था यूनाइट होने के लिए, देश को भड़काने के लिए, जगाने के लिए। आज सिर्फ उस मुद्दे पे एक मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन का कैंपेन फैला के वो लोगों को इकट्ठा कर रहे हैं। और ये कहना बहुत आसान है कि जो प्रो सीएए जो भी कुछ हो रहा है या प्रोटेस्ट या रैली हो रही है वो बीजेपी ने कराई है, लेकिन जो एंटी सीएए हो रहा है वो ऑर्गेनिक है, वो स्टूडेंट लेड है या सिटीजन लेड है। साहब, अगर आप इसको बारीकी से देखेंगे तो ये सारा पॉलिटिकली मोटिवेटेड है, और सैयद अब्बास साहब भी इस बात को मानेंगे। और दूसरी बात, जहां तक बात कर रहे हैं एनआरसी को या सीएए को लागू करने की, कई स्टेट्स ने भी ऐसे कहा कि हम सीएए को अपने स्टेट में लागू नहीं होने देंगे। देखिए, सिटीजनशिप एक सेंट्रल सब्जेक्ट है, अगर सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट चाहेगी तो वो लागू होगा। तो ये जो एक भ्रम फैलाया जा रहा है फिर से कि हम अपने स्टेट के लिए स्टैंड ले रहे हैं, वेस्ट बंगाल में ममता बनर्जी कह रही है कि मैं नहीं होने दूंगी, ये भी एक भ्रांति है। और सैयद अब्बास साहब राजनीति के जानकार हैं, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के जानकार हैं, तो मुझे लगता है कि उनको भी ये भ्रांति फैलाने में से थोड़ा पीछे हटना चाहिए।
नहीं, लेकिन
वो पहुंचाना चाहिए।
लेकिन सैयद अब्बास जी, अगर ये सब भ्रम फैलाया जा रहा है ऑपोजिशन पार्टीज के अगेंस्ट, तो बीजेपी को कम से कम अपने एलआई को तो समझाना चाहिए था। हाँ,
लेकिन सवाल क्या बीजू जनता दल के नेता और उड़ीसा के मुख्यमंत्री, उन्होंने भी मना कर दिया कि हम नहीं लागू करेंगे। हम आपकी पुरानी अलायंस पंजाब की वो भी कह रहे हैं कि नहीं, हम विरोध करेंगे। तो कहीं ना कहीं कुछ ना कुछ बात है, तब तो बोल रहे हैं या तो सबके सब जाहिल हैं या जानबूझ के कर रहे हैं। दो ही मान ही हो सकता है, या तो जितने भी लोग हैं ये बोल रहे हैं जानबूझ के कर रहे हैं, या फिर उनको नॉलेज नहीं है? कोई एक तो बात होगी। मैं समझ रहा हूं कि एनआरसी के मुद्दे पे आपको स्टैंड क्लियर, चूंकि वहां 12 लाख हिंदुओं की बात है, 5 लाख मुसलमानों की बात है, और ये जहन में दिया जा रहा है कि इस सीए के आड़ में जो है उनको नागरिकता मिल जाएगी, वहां के मुसलमानों को नहीं मिलेगी। ये तो कंफ्यूजन आप लोग के जरिए सही है गलत आया, तभी तो ये फैल रहा।
Okay, point taken. Now, I just want to quickly, I want to say good evening to Yogendra Yadav as well. But Mr. Yadav, if you'll just give me 30 more seconds. Clyde has been wanting to make a point and I will come to you then. Yes, Clyde, quickly, go ahead, please.
No, I'll say it very quickly, Tanvi. The BJP spokesperson went on to say that एक भ्रम पैदा हो रहा है और खौफ और डर की जरूरत नहीं। मेरा ये आपसे यही कहना है, एक स्पष्ट तरीके से कहना है आपको, अगर आप कहते हो कि सोशल मीडिया में अगर कोई लिखता है और वो सुनकर या पढ़कर लोगों के मन में एक भ्रम पैदा होता है या कुछ होता है, ठीक है, उसमें सही हो सकता है, गलत हो सकता है। सोशल मीडिया में कुछ भी चीजें आप उसकी पुष्टि आप नहीं कर सकते। लेकिन अगर आपके देश का गृह मंत्री अगर आपको आपके राज्यसभा या लोकसभा के पटल पे वहां खड़े रहकर कहता है और उनके चेहरे पे कॉन्फिडेंस होता है कि कहता है कि भाई कुछ भी हो हम एनआरसी इंप्लीमेंट या सीए इंप्लीमेंट करके रहेंगे, तो आपके मन में खौफ पैदा होगा, भ्रम नहीं, आपके मन में खौफ और डर पैदा होगा, क्योंकि आपके गृह मंत्री कहते हैं कि कुछ भी करो हम ये करके रहेंगे। तो आप गृह मंत्री की बात को मानेंगे या सोशल मीडिया की बात को मानेंगे, तो बहुत बड़ा सवाल पैदा होता है यहाँ पर। सो माय पॉइंट इज वेरी क्लियर, इज वेरी क्लियर, इज दैट इफ एन ऑथेंटिक पर्सन लाइक द होम मिनिस्टर सेज दैट come what may I will implement this, then you have to listen to the home minister. You are not, you could be really foolish if you're going to go by the, what social media is saying. And any intelligent person will not go by social media. They are intelligent enough to read what is there. They've studied what is there, and that's when they've raised question and they're coming out on the streets, because this is what they've heard in the temple of democracy. They heard these statements, so therefore they're out on the streets.
Okay, no, but the point is that why should they be out on the streets, whether or not they have anything to fear when CAA comes or NRC comes?
Tanvi.
One minute, please. Neha, I'll come to you. I'm sure you would want to respond to what Yogendra also say.
There is the fear when you include Tanvi.
So then that is on the merits of what the policy is.
Fear. You know it, I know it, everybody in the country knows it.
Okay, yes. So then that's the fear of the policy and the impact of the policy, and whether people know enough or not. Let me go across to Yogendra Yadav.
If you are not the citizens of the country, if you cannot fulfill the criteria, you cannot be the citizen of this country.
Yogendra Yadav, good evening to you. Two parts here. The conversation right now is whether, people know enough or if they have been misled. The big claim by BJP this evening is that the opposition parties and few others have misled the people of this country who are protesting by putting this fear in their minds that this is going to be something that they need to be fearful of. And of course, the larger question we are asking is, was the PN's comment yesterday, is that enough to bring about any assurance to quell the protests that we are seeing today? Mr. Yadav.
Tanvi, one thing the Prime Minister said yesterday, which I really liked, बिल्कुल मेरे दिल को छू गई, मुझे को मजा आ गया. Prime Minister ने कहा झूठ नहीं बोलना चाहिए. I did not know. I was actually so touched that my Prime Minister actually believes कि झूठ नहीं बोलना चाहिए. मुझे तो लग रहा था कि Prime Minister and Mr. Trump are in a race कि किसको झूठ बोलने का गोल्ड मेडल मिलेगा. But he said that. I salute him for that. He also said rumors नहीं फैलाने चाहिए. He also said कि लोगों के अंदर डर नहीं पैदा करना चाहिए. I am actually touched and I salute my Prime Minister. So now in that spirit, allow me to say the following. Is it a rumor to say that CAA is the first law ever in the history of this country which mentions religions by name when it comes to citizenship? If this is a rumor, please tell me. I will take all responsibilities for spreading this rumor. Number two, that the distinction between Muslims and non-Muslims which is drawn only for illegal migrants, of course it does not apply right now to those who already are citizens of the country, but for purposes of illegal migrants, this distinction, is this not unconstitutional? Incidentally, this rumor has been spread this morning by Justice Madan Lokur, who just retired from the Supreme Court. He says this is unconstitutional. Maybe he's spreading rumors. जरूर उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए. देखो कैसी अफवाह फैला रहे हैं सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जज. Number 3, on NRC, is it a rumor that BJP mentioned it in its manifesto? Is it a rumor that the President of India informed this to the Parliament in his formal address? And please remember, President's address is cleared by the Cabinet.
Yes.
So, is it a rumor? Is it a rumor that the Home Minister has repeatedly spoken about implementing NRC, and the Prime Minister says, 2014 से आज तक चर्चा नहीं हुई. So he actually says it's not. He did not say it has not been implemented yet. He said we have not even discussed it. My God, his Home Minister speaks to him without discussing with him. The President of India gives an address without discussing, without approval from the Prime Minister of India. कौन झूठ फैला रहा है, कौन अफवाह फैला रहा है? And on detention centers, the Prime Minister says there are no detention centers in the country. And this is the man who actually went to Assam in 2014 and said there are detention centers, my government will abolish it. What is there in Gopalpura, sir? What if that not a detention center?
Okay.
Is it not true that your government has responded to the Parliament of India in July and also in November, giving details of detention center? Don't you have a manual on detention center? ये सारी चीजें अगर rumors हैं, अगर अफवाह हैं, I take full responsibility for spreading all these rumors. Please tell me which of them is a lie.
Okay, so point by point response from Neha Joshi on this one. Point number one, on the NRC and how many times, including the president who has said that my government will bring in NRC in this country. So what are we saying when we say we've never talked about it since 2014? Point number two, on the detention centers. Point number three, is CAA the first law or not that actually speaks about citizenship basis religion? Neha.
Thank you, Tanvi. Tanvi, first of all, Yogendra Yadav ji बहुत ही मंझे हुए वक्ता हैं. He is, you know, and I think these days he is in the full-time profession of being on TV channels and speaking on the issue of CAA. So I see there's a template that he's running by.
I don't appreciate any personal comments against any of our panelists.
What exactly is he protesting?
Please let's not make personal comments against any panelist.
Fact here, because that's
yes.
I'm just stating a fact here merely. So, yes. So, you know, all of the points that he made, I still don't understand what exactly is he opposing. Yes, the Citizen Amendment Act, it is for the benefit of these minorities, these persecuted minorities from 3 countries. Unfortunately, Muslims are not a persecuted minority in these 3 countries. Hence, this act was brought in, particularly to benefit these minorities who have been time and again persecuted. And India as a nation, many political parties, the CPIM at one point has passed a resolution supporting Citizenship Amendment Bill. The Congress Party, Mohan Singh ji's famous speech in 2003 in Parliament, where he's asked the citizenship should be granted to persecuted minorities of these countries. So, you know, time and again these issues have been raised. In fact, even the founding fathers of our constitution, at that point, discussions were held discussing the Citizenship Amendment Bill, that should in the future a situation arise when these minorities who are choosing to be part of Pakistan and East Pakistan at that point, should they require to come back to India, there should be a provision to allow them that freedom.
So have a generic law for people who get persecuted in their countries.
Took that step.
Absolutely.
Or include the Ahmadiyas and the Balochis who are also getting persecuted in Pakistan.
Well, let's hear.
Why be so selective only for 3 countries and only for 6 religions is the question.
My question.
You didn't understand the question.
How is this bill, which addresses the issue of persecution of these particular minorities, how is this anti-Muslim? When these Muslims have nations unto themselves, how does it affect the Indian Muslims? So, Mr. Yogendra Yadav and his ilk, who have been trying this deliberate misinformation
now
campaign,
you've shifted the goalpost.
They will not go into the details of it. They will
the
not go into the
point that was raised by Mr. Yogendra Yadav.
Managed to create this narrative.
Can I come in?
This bill and
Can
this
I come
act
in?
is somehow
Yes.
anti-Muslim. As far as the NRC is concerned, the Home Minister on the floor of the House has said this. Has the bill been brought in? No. If the BJP had to, it could have brought in the bill. No, it will be discussed. The points will, it will be in public domain, and then it will, I don't understand why are we mixing
Discuss now after everything is
CAA
done.
with NRC. The
Okay.
Prime Minister himself clarified that it has not been discussed.
Okay, because the Home Minister said the two are linked, that the CAA is the first step and nationwide NRC is the next step. And
No,
let's
it's
just be
not a
very
question
clear
of mixing.
that the nationwide NRC helps us identify all illegal immigrants,
Constitution will
and
be
then the
followed
CAA
to the
looks
T
at some
if and
of
when
them.
that is brought in.
Okay, but Yogendra Yadav wanted to come in, and then Clyde Craster. Yogendra Yadav first, please.
It seems that Ms. Joshi agrees with both the things I said. Number one, that it is for the first time in the history of this country that the citizenship law names religious communities for the first time. She has not contradicted it. Number two, she has also not contradicted the fact that this is unconstitutional according to Justice Lokur, who has just retired from the Supreme Court a few days ago. I did not use the word anti-Muslim. I think there's something in their filter. You say anti-constitutional, they hear anti-Muslim. I think there's too much obsession there. I think they should relax, because unlike me, she is not in the full-time profession of appearing on television. I'm sure she would have had time to look at the actual wording of the law. And here I'm challenging her. Please listen carefully, Ms. Joshi. Does the word religiously persecuted minority actually figure in the text of the Act? Please say yes or no.
Neha?
On what grounds are you calling this bill against the Constitution? Do you have any
Specific question.
There have been several lawyers. There is an entire law ministry that has examined the law.
Well,
the Attorney General himself has examined the law. What is it?
Please
What
read.
qualifies you as an expert of the law in calling it anti-constitutional?
A Supreme Court
No,
retired
it does
judge.
not. No, it does not.
you-
Tell me exactly.
do you want
what
to
clause,
respond?
what of the art.
Do you want to respond to the specific
Article
question he's
14.
asked
There are
on
several
does the
Supreme Court
phrase
retired judges one
does the
retired
phrase
judge
religiously
opinions?
persecuted minorities
This is a-
figure in the law?
This is a tutu meme.
Okay.
This is a political tutu meme. Let's talk facts.
So let's talk facts. Does the phrase religiously persecuted minorities figure in the Act? He's asking you specific questions, yes or no?
Even I asked him a specific question, what exactly it is about the Act that has been passed by both the Houses of Parliament, that is examined by the Law Ministry, does he find unconstitutional? Let him answer that question first. How can he, as a responsible person sitting on national
Can I
television,
answer that?
Yes,
call
yes, of
something
course,
that has
Mr.
been
Yadav.
passed by both the Houses of Parliament, given assent by the President of India, call it against the Constitution?
Mr. Yadav.
Does he mean to say that that people sitting in Parliament do not have the
Okay, 1 minute. Let him
do not
answer. Let
have
him
the
answer.
capability to decide
Let
what is
him answer. We got your
constitutional, what
question.
is not?
Yes, we got your question. Yes, Mr. Yadav.
So my friend has also conceded the third thing, namely, and everyone knows, this phrase religiously persecuted minorities only figures in the preamble and preface. It comes on television debates. It comes in parliamentary debates. This phrase is actually not used in any section of that amendment. So what is being talked about is a plain lie. The bill does not talk, and therefore my friend has kept quiet. So I
Mr.
take it that
Yadav,
she concedes this
are
third
you
point as
saying
well.
that
Now
the
let me
Hindu
respond to what
girls
she's
in
saying.
Pakistan
The fourth point about the
who are
constitutionality.
converted, tortured,
Please
raped
now
are not
allow me to
persecuted?
speak. I did not interrupt you. Please. All I'm asking you is, does
ahead,
this
sir.
bill contain the word religiously persecuted minorities? The answer is no. Otherwise, please cite the section number and I would withdraw. I would say apologies to you. Otherwise, please keep quiet and listen to what I'm saying. Number fourth is your question about constitutionality. Your question is, can a bill properly, duly passed by Parliament ever be called constitutional? The answer, Ms. Joshi, is probably you have not read Indian Constitution. Yes, these properly, duly passed bills by the Parliament can be unconstitutional, have been called unconstitutional. The Supreme Court has on umpteen occasions. You would be glad to know India is one of those countries. I would welcome you to the Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution gives power of judicial review. Indian Constitution says, yes,
Sir,
duly
fight it out in the
passed laws by the
Constitution
Parliament
then.
can
In
be
the Indian courts
unconstitutional.
then.
That
You
is where
have-
the Supreme
you
Court
have-
comes into
you
being.
have a legal
And
recourse.
this is
Why
where
burn the country?
I would please
Why
now allow
burn the
me to
country?
speak.
Why
your
resort to
party is
violence?
into the business of not. The problem with your party is you can't listen. थोड़ा सुन लीजिए ना, थोड़ा तो क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? The reason why it is unconstitutional. And
सर
I
हम
would simply
बिल्कुल सुन रहे
paraphrase
हैं,
what
लेकिन आप
Justice
मुझे ये
Madan Lokur
बताइए
has
कि
written
अगर
today.
सुप्रीम कोर्ट में आप
Namely,
जा सकते
that
हैं
this goes
तो
against
सड़कों पर
Article
बसें क्यों
14.
चला रहे हैं?
It
Okay,
goes
okay.
against
Can I
Article
just
15.
no,
It goes
I don't
against
have time
Article
for this.
19.
I don't have
against
this
Article
tutu meme
21.
time. 1 minute, please. Can I
It
just
goes
listen to
against the
Yogendra
preamble
Yadav
to the
finish his point? Yeah,
Constitution.
yeah.
Yes. I'll just repeat. It goes against Article 14, Article 15, Article 19, Article 21, and the preamble to the Constitution. And if this is not unconstitutional, I do not know what is unconstitutional. And yes, people do take to streets. Please remember, democratic, peaceful protest is not only a right, it is a duty under the Indian Constitution to uphold the constitutional values, which is exactly what we are doing. Anyone indulging in violence is not helping the Constitution. That is certainly not my definition of a protest, but non-violent democratic protest is required in the last instance. People defend the Constitution because it is we, the people, who gave ourselves this Constitution.
But Mr. Yadav, I must say that peaceful protest is the hallmark of any democracy, and this time again, people have managed to get their government to listen to them, to start responding. What happens next? We will have to wait and watch. But quick comment from Clyde Crasto before we wrap this conversation. Clyde, yes.
Tanvi, the BJP spokesperson said that, we are mixing the NRC and the CAA. The fact is, it is together. It works together. That's what happened in Assam. They started the NRC. There were citizens who did not fulfill the criteria of citizenship according to the NRC. 99 people were found that they do not fulfill the criteria, of which 16 lakh were Hindus and the 3 lakh were Muslim. So then comes in the CAA. What does the CAA then, that after the NRC, according to the CAA, that if you fall in the bracket of whether you are a Hindu, Christian, Sikh, Parsi, Jain, then you can stay back. But if you are a Muslim, you cannot stay. That's exactly what the whole two things have to be mixed, because they come one after the other. So the point here is the whole country has begun to realize this, that this follows the other, and therefore they have raised this point because it's going down the religious road. And that's when the people are taking objection to it. So you can't say that you do not mix the two.
Well,
this
maybe
is step one, and then comes step two.
Okay.
And that's where all the problem lies, and that's where all the questions are coming.
Okay, all right. I'm going to thank all of our panelists. In quick 30 seconds, as a summarizer from Vinay Tiwari as well. Vinay, the debate on the constitutionality of it may get fought out in front of a constitution bench, whether or not this comes under Article 14 or not. But essentially what we have seen is the power of a democracy, where if people get together and raise their voice, the government at least takes note.
Yes, and not just note. I think the governments, any government, this is not just about one party. I think any government should listen to its citizens, because unless you do that, things don't move. It's never really positive. I just wanted to make one small point to what Neha said. Constitution and laws are not static documents. They are evolving documents. They change as societies change and as country changes. Enough and more laws that have been duly passed by much bigger majorities in the parliament as well have been struck down by the courts as unconstitutional.
Yes.
In this case, whether that will happen or not is not for me to judge. There are experts sitting there, a constitution bench will hear it. But surely to say that just because a parliament has passed a law, it is an absolute truism, that is not true. That's not even democratic. That's not even legit. It's a basic civics lesson.
Well, on the legal front, we've had, the likes of Abhishek Manu Singhvi, Siddharth Luthra, who's actually a petitioner in this case in Supreme Court and will fight this case, say this is unconstitutional. We've had Justice Lokur, a retired Supreme Court judge, said. Many judges and top legal minds have said that. On the other hand, we've also had the likes of Arima Sundara and Harish Salve come on our channel and say, well, this is constitutional. We're only talking about these specific countries, only talking about these few religions. That doesn't mean we are saying no to everything else. If you want to give citizenship to others, by all means, go ahead and come up with another law. Extend this law. So maybe not. So the fight over the legality and the constitutionality may continue in the Supreme Court. But as far as the ethics of it is concerned, I feel that as a secular country, India, that is a secular country that swears by its constitution, It's not right for us to be so selective in our citizenship policy. For us to say, oh, only for these 3 countries, only for these 6 religions, we are going to have, a fast track, a specific procedure versus everybody else. It has to be the same. We have to show the same amount of humanity to anybody who's seeking refuge. Either we don't allow anybody, but if we are, it cannot be discriminated on the basis of religion. Thank you so much for joining us on this conversation. It remains to be seen if Prime Minister's efforts along with BJP's outreach actually quells this protest. Today it didn't, and I'm not talking about the political protest. I'm talking about the Aam Aadmi. Let's see how it goes forward. Thank you for joining us on this conversation.
Driven by Hyundai December Delight. Great offers on quality cars.
डैड का चेक मिला, मेरी अच्छी जॉब लगी है ना, चाहते हैं अच्छी गाड़ी भी ले लो। सरप्राइज!
अरे वाह, Hyundai!
वो भी इस चेक के बिना।
पर बेटा ये
ऑफर्स इतने अच्छे हैं, गाड़ी कैसी लगी आपको?
Hyundai December Delight. Great offers on quality cars. Hurry!
Go chase that dream. Peps, the Dream Makers. MRF Nilo Grip Easy Ride, a biker's delight. Make every ride an easy ride.
डैड का चेक मिला, मेरी अच्छी जॉब लगी है ना, चाहते हैं अच्छी गाड़ी भी ले लो। सरप्राइज!
अरे वाह, Hyundai!
वो भी इस चेक के बिना।
पर बेटा ये
ऑफर्स इतने अच्छे हैं, गाड़ी कैसी लगी आपको?
Hyundai December Delight. Great offers on quality cars. Hurry!
आसाम के अंदर एनआरसी की प्रक्रिया हाथ में ली गई, एक सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऑर्डर के तहत और एक अलग एक्ट के तहत ली गई। एनआरसी की प्रक्रिया देश भर में होगी, उस वक्त आसाम के अंदर भी ये एनआरसी की प्रक्रिया स्वाभाविक रूप से फिर से की जाएगी। और इसमें मैंने फिर से स्पष्ट कर देता हूं कि किसी भी धर्म के लोगों को कोई डरने की जरूरत नहीं है।
राहुल बाबा कहते हैं एनआरसी क्यों ला रहे हो, घुसपैठिए को क्यों निकाल रहे हो, कहां जाएंगे, क्या खाएंगे, क्या पिएंगे, क्यों भाई आपके चचेरे भाई लगते हैं क्या? ये राहुल बाबा को जो बोलना है बोलने दो, मैं बताने आया हूं। मित्रों, 2024 के पहले इस देश में से एक घुसपैठिए को चुन चुन कर निकालने का काम ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार करने वाली।
पहले ये तो देख लीजिए कि एनआरसी के फिर कुछ हुआ भी है क्या? झूठ चलाए जा रहे हो। मेरी सरकार आने के बाद 2014 से आज तक मैं 130 करोड़ देशवासियों को कहना चाहता हूं, कहीं पर भी एनआरसी शब्द पर कोई चर्चा नहीं हुई है, कोई बात नहीं हुई है।